Hello everyone, this is iGreatGeek, the YouTube channel. Today is January 25 of January, and now we are watching live the Wall Street 30 on the 30 minutes. On the 5 minutes, as I said, I like to have a nice look at the multi-time frame. And as you can see, yesterday we said that we were in the Kumo cloud, but at some point I told you that we had a breakout at the 5-minute chart. As you can see here, we had a break at 5-minute chart, and yes, it tested this high here and went even higher. But I've noticed many times that when we break a higher position like this one here, the market usually doesn't go that way. It doesn't follow any linear. It isn't a linear movement that it makes. Usually it breaks that point and makes a retracement. If you want to see what retracements we are going to have today, we just have to take the Fibonacci. And as you can see, we now are at the 38.2. Here is the 50% and 61.8. The Kijun-sen at this point tells me be careful because the trend may have changed, but we're above the Kumo cloud right here. And I suspect that, as I told you last night, I suspect that we're going to test this lower position right here. The 5-minute chart gives us a short position right there. I have not taken any positions at this point because, as you can see, my Fibo says wait, you are not below or above a clear area right here, so you have to be careful about your position, or you should have take small positions and see what they want to do. We have no matter what the movement will be here, I believe that we're going to have a retracement back there. So we now are at the 50% retracement. The market is open now. It has opened about half hour, so I believe we're going to have a green candle here, but we have to wait where that will close. The daily analysis of the Wall Street, let's have a look. As you can see here, we had a higher high, and I believe we may go even higher. The stochastic here has started to going down, so maybe we have a change of the direction at this point here. We have to wait and follow. You can see here we have a nice pin, which means that this usually gives the opposite direction in everything. Very, very large red candle in the half hour. You know, here some people may say, oh, the market is going downwards, let's chase it. No, you have to find a better position. If you wanted to enter this movement here, you should have done it. You should have waited the candle to go below Kijun-sen, the blue line, and then you should have waited to see a nice spot near. We always need a spot near the Kijun-sen so we can have a stop loss somewhere there. It's important in every trade you make to have a stop loss, otherwise your account may be in danger. And now, as you can see, we had a 50% retracement. There's no need for you now to be hasty and have a long position. Everyone that is in a long position at this point, because sometimes you the mind, gets stuck, and you say, oh my god, let's keep this position and see what happens. No, if you want to save your money, if you were long, you should have left the long positions at this blue line right here at Kijunsen. Close your positions. If you want to go short, you can do it, but if you want to go long, you should have wait at least the Kijunsen. You should wait the candlestick to go above the Kijunsen right here, and the best thing is to go above the Kumo cloud, above second span A and second span B. Again, this movement, the standard deviation, as you can see here, standard deviation had a nice up movement, a nice uptrend, but it did that when the market was closed, and now it is trying something else. The standard deviation says to me that there is no trend, so you may try yourself by gaining some small pips with small positions there, because there is no need for you to place big bets right now as we did in the last trend or in any other trend. And this one here, they are my FIBO lines. These are very important to me because I like my market, I like everything to be above or below. If it is above, below, for example, let's have a look at the overnight movement of the market. If you see, the overnight movement of the market was really interesting because we went above everything, above every FIBO line of this system, and then the market says, okay, here I got tired, let's have a retracement, or it may be a change in the direction also. Stochastic here in the 30 minutes says short positions if you want to take some small short positions, but we have, I believe we have to wait if we want to have something for sure. If we want to have a nice trade here, we should wait until sometimes I also like the 30 minutes to be above Kitchenson, so I can also start a trade right there. Okay, we now have on a 5-minute chart. You see, this is the market. The market is really tough. It made a hard position, a hard movement downward, but now it is retracing. Everything has to do with retracement. So that's why I said before, you see a nice big red candle, don't be hasty. Don't try to get in the market and to make that short position that there, because the movement was done. It is finished. So you have to wait another nice position to enter the market. The market now is trying to go above Kijunsen, but if you're a channel player and you draw a trend line right here, you know that if this trend line isn't broken, no long position can be taken at this point. You can take all the points. The market sometimes does a lot of movements, sometimes it stays still, but when it moves, you have to make sure that you're following a nice trend of the market. Don't try to take everything. For example, you cannot predict this thing here. Of course, there are many people that like to play the retracements, so they always do play the retracement against the trend, which is, for me, I have tried that also, but it's very dangerous, because if you play, I thought that this one here, as I was saying before, there are many people trying to take that retracement, but they go against the trend, and this is a very dangerous thing for you to do. I draw a trend line right here, and as you can see, this channel here isn't broken, so until the channel is broken, you should avoid every long position. At this point, no long position can be taken, and if someone takes a long position and it is successful, it will be whether they have a nice inside information or it is something that was out of luck. The markets are really strange. You see, last night we had a very nice trade, a nice trend right here, but at some point, as soon as it opens, it goes down and then up. This is what the market does all the time. They're trying to fool you and take your money. So you have to be, as I said, these videos are made for the beginners because the markets live from the beginners, so this has to stop at some point. And you should start seeing and be helped by any indicator you like, by the stochastic, by the standard deviation. The standard deviation 30 minutes, as you can see, has no trend at this point. It goes down, which means no deviation is being made in the last 20 periods, or the deviation is smaller than the previous one, so this means there is no trend at this point. The Fibonacci lines here tell me that this movement is done against the trend, which means whether if you're a trader and likes to play it all, but believe me, it isn't very good to trade in every movement out there, and you should be very cautious about that. This is against the trend. Again, when we are between Kijunsen and the cloud, this is a place of caution. You have to be very careful right here, and you have to wait. There are many people out there that are trying to make money every day, and they want consistency and they want to try really hard. Maybe they have some bills to pay or something like that, but at the end they fail because, as you have seen, the market may move or the market may stay put, stay in the same spot, maybe 1 month or 2 months or 1 week or everything. So you have to be really careful about struggling to make every day some pips. Of course, there are more experienced players or players with bigger accounts that want to take this here, to take all these pips or these pips here, so they try it really hard, but we must go for a nice and a sure movement. At this point I'm not thinking long at all. Why? I'm almost out of my Fibonacci lines here in the 5-minute chart, because I believe that the 5-minute, of course, and the 1 minute is the head. So the head follows, the head runs ahead and everything else follows. If the head isn't at least above Tekensen or Kijunsen, why should I take a long position at this point? We don't want to find the edges of the market. What means edges? I don't want to find this position here to sell my profits, or I don't want to find this position here to sell my short profits. I'm trying to find a safe and a nice position to get out of this trend. How do I do that? By watching this one here and by using my technical analysis, and of course by watching carefully my Kijunsen. If my Kijunsen is crossed by the candle, then I must give it right away. As you can see, here there was no fractal made, but if you are a fractal player and go to 5 minutes, that's why I use the 5 minutes to get in and out of the trades, because they inform me really, really fast. As you can see, this was the last fractal, so any long position you had should have been sold right here. You should have closed your position here, or you should have closed them a little bit higher at this point here. So now we see that the market is struggling. It went back in. That's why I said this is a movement against the trend. I believe that this spot here will be tested again. The market made one step forward. No matter what it does here, you have to have in your mind that the step is being made, which means the market is moving upwards. They may test this position here, or for some time, because as you can see, where the market does every day, does all-time high. It is amazing. It is amazing how strong the market is, or manipulated by, as they say for some people. You know, sometimes I read in the comment section in some sites like investing or anything else, and they say, oh, this site is the market is manipulated on blah 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 and everything like that. You don't have to follow that things. I mean, why do you keep your source at this point? For what reason? Why if you have a short position from 20,000, why did you have to wait 6,000 points before you can make a position? Do you see what I mean? Why do you have a long position at this point we're speaking, when the Kijunsen is below, when the candle is below Kijunsen? Why do you take a long position at this point when you see that everything is below Kijunsen, is below Tekkensen, is below the Kumo cloud in the 5 minutes? Yes, there are many who say, you know, I see here a movement. We have the Tekkensen now up, okay, and but from a technical analysis point, you see there was a lower low here, a lower high, a fractal there, lower low, lower high. So I want one higher low here before I start trading. I need that higher low so I can go long and follow the market. The most difficult part in the market is some days, maybe this one is a day like that, when you see that the market has no trade, for example here, and it does at some point these movements. You see a higher high and a lower low, and you said, oh my God, where is it going right now? That's why you have to see the step. You have to wait for that step to be made in order to take a nice position and enter and take at least some pips, some daily pips. Many people say, okay, I want just 50 pips today and I'm okay, but they have to be safe. They have to be somehow, the possibilities should be on your side in this one here. You see, we had a higher low right here, which is kind of interesting, but we may also have a flag right here. You know, every moment you should understand the meaning of the flag. The meaning of the flag is to stay there, to calm down, and to continue. We had a movement, a violent movement down there, a kind of retracement at this point, and if we can see, the retracement applies also in the 5 minutes. If you take Fibonacci and take this retracement here, you will see that it has retraced from the last position at 38.2. So that's why many people don't like or like the Fibonacci retracement, because everything retraces, everything, nothing goes, a linear, no movement is not linear. Well, you can say, oh, this was a linear movement, but again, down, retraced, a little bit down, retraced. So we need somewhere here, we need to be tested, this low here must be tested again. It isn't tested. Maybe this test will be today, or maybe we're going to have another movement up. In the 30 minute, we see that our price went above Kijun-sun, so we're now trying to think about long movements. And also right here, it's an interesting part. We could try that also. We see that went above this fractal right here. So we could try a long position, but I don't like it when I'm below the Bollinger Band right here. This is another part you should think of, because Bollinger Band, I want to be above the Bollinger Band so I can long right there. Let's wait, and if I see something, a nice position to enter, I will inform you right away. Okay, so guys, we are back. As you can see, there was a retracement on the 5-minute chart. Let's see how much it retraced. We always take our Fibonacci retracement tool, and is amazing. If you're using Fib tools, you will understand that it was a 61.8 retracement. That means that it have maybe the possibilities are to test again this area right here. As you can see, we are above Kijun-sun, we are above Tekun-sun, but we are not above the cloud, and also we are above the middle line of the Bollinger Bands. But if I'm not above the cloud, I don't like it very much. I prefer to be above the cloud. On a technical analysis point of view, we had a lower high, a higher low here, higher high, and a higher high right here, but I'm not persuaded yet. There are two options at this point, and we have to be very careful about what the market is going to do now. Sometimes it follows, if we are on a flag movement right here, it does a really nice down movement, a strong movement down, retraces, it makes a small movement down, so it can fool you again. Okay, I'm going down now, but makes again up, and then it makes the last one movement down. So if I'm going to play right now, if I'm going to trade, we have two options. The first one is to wait a small down movement so we can test this area right here, and the other moment is if we go above the cloud right here, we are above the second span A, and this is second span B. If we go above second span A, maybe a trend continues and goes on. If you are a trend line trader, you would have entered right here and you have taken these pips here. It's not really bad. If you were a Fibonacci trader, you would have taken this retracement here, but these are very dangerous because it could have continued even lower and it could have taken you out. But of course, when you take this trade, you always put a stop loss right here, and as we said, you just try. This is the market, nothing is for sure. You just try. We're above our lines here, but I sense a weakness because we had this one here, it was a fractal, A fractal was even higher right here. So the market isn't trending right now. Now it's the time when many people loses their earnings from this trend here, for example, because they try to follow it. They try to find, the first place in the trend. You don't have to be, very hasty. You don't have to be very impatient. Okay, let's go long because I feel it will go even higher. Or let's go short. Just wait and be sure of your movements. Be sure to enter in a nice, and as I said, don't play like the casino when you put the money and wait to have a good luck there. See what the market does. As I can see now, this area here should be retested, and you see it like there. It is interesting. I believe the markets are tuned up so finely. If you see in every time frame, there is a tune up, and sometimes it makes you wonder how can it work so nicely on the 5-minute time frame? How can it work so nicely on the 30-minute time frame? So Fibonacci has a big impact on this on the markets. You see here we had a up trade. It retraced it right there and then went up again. In a smaller time frame, if you want to take 20, 30 pips per day, for example, it went down, a downward movement. It retraced at the 61.8 two times. This is the 61.8 retracement is tested right now. And they can, because, many times they leave you always when the market isn't trending, they give you two options, and now you have the options of going long and going short. Nothing is for sure at this point, so whatever you do, it will be out of luck. You have to wait a little bit. We are above here the Kijunsen Tekens and the midline Bollinger Bar. The standard deviation seems to go even higher a little bit right now, but the stochastic is quite high on, it's now in 80, enters the overbought area, but it enters the overbought area and the movement isn't that strong as we should expect. On the 30-minute time frame, you can see that there was a retracement and it moves again and again. As you can see, there was a smaller higher there. So maybe we go little by little high now. But I'm not persuaded still until I see the candles go above my Kumo cloud right here. My other Fibonacci tools here right says, okay, be prepared, maybe we have an upper movement. I'm not really fascinated by this here. As you can see, my future in a 5-minute time frame is not so bright at this point. You will see that we have second span B over second span A. So I'm still holding until I see something I like and enter the market. Sometimes I have noticed that in markets like this, in days like this here, Tekkensen may be a more valuable tool instead of Kijunsen, because look, something interesting. The Tekkensen was lost right here. The market did all this movement, and at this point the short-term trend changed again because the candle went above Tekkensen and we are now above Tekkensen again. So if I want to take a short position at this point here, Tekken should, the price should be at the least below Tekken. Otherwise, you may make a big mistake and the market may go against you. So you have to be really cautious there. It seems like it's going up pip by pip, so it won't inform you about a strong movement. And I think in 2 minutes the German DAX index is going to close, which means sometimes I've seen that when the DAX closes, Wall Street doesn't do very strong movements, because I think sometimes I've seen, let's take Germany, not this one, the 5-minute Germany. Look, we had a downward movement here, and we also had a downward movement here. So I think these two markets go hand by hand. If you may notice there are times they not tuned up so well together. You see the Wall Street going even higher, DAX may go lower, but if you take the overall picture of the two markets, you will understand that these markets work together, whatever that means. Okay, that's it for now. I'm still waiting. Maybe I'm waiting DAX to close, and then we're going to see, maybe take a long position here, but I believe we're going to have a downward movement in a little bit. Let's see. As you can see here, as soon as I saw that there was a cloud breakout, I took my chances right there. A long position. Some of you may say, oh, you were too late, and you were probably right, but if we want to be cautious and follow some rules, we have to follow them no matter what. Some of you could have entered right there. We were above Bollinger Bar. The Tekken 7 had crossed over the Kijunsen. The price was over the Kijunsen, so it was a nice position to enter, but I didn't like the Kumo cloud that was above me. Another interesting part was that we had a higher high, a lower, higher low right there, so this one here was also a U-turn, but the market did really small steps right here. I'm not sure why it did that there. I don't like this movement very much, so I will probably close my position as soon as I can. I won't wait any retracement here. I don't like the stochastic is full right now, but as we have said, there no meaning in oversold or overbought when there is a big trend. Stochastic is used mainly for not trend markets when there is nothing to trend about. So we had the retracement that there. I said every time I will inform you that whenever we are at least in the 30-minute we are above the Kumo cloud, you should always find some nice position to enter long. If you're below Kumo cloud, take notice and take some short positions. So as you can see, the market is struggling really hard there to making another all-time high. It went little by little, as you can see here, but now we are, let's see, we open our position right here at 90, so we have 30 pips. Now we are, a profit of 30 pips, more or less. We can just close this one, but I think we may go now for another all-time high, and then turn back. The best thing for you here is to close your positions if the price goes below Tekkensen, but because I was late, if I had opened my position right here and if the Kumo cloud was below me, I would have waited for sure for my Tekkensen to be invaded. But as you can see, my my position started right there. Now we are like 40 pips. Yes, I believe we are somewhere 40 pips profit. And there might be a strong retracement there, so it can take away our profit. So we have to make some we have to see every candle at this time and make a choice whether to close our position. As you can see, this candle is red. We can just, if this does not retrace so much, we can wait for a second candle. If the second candle is also red, then we can close our position and take a small profit right there, because this movement was made with no support at all. We have a support right here, but there were no other support, so it made retraced all until down here, and I believe it will do it. So if you take, let me see, yes, we went and did an all-time high, and now it's turning back. So the retracement is already, we lost here like 20 pips of, we are 90, we're 25 pip profit right now. I have seen this many times when the market goes above a higher place, a higher position like this one, it automatically comes down to retrace and then to continue going back up again, of course. But sometimes the retracement may be so hard that it can take all your profit right there. So I believe I don't like very much this movement. The stochastic has changed its direction also. Let's see. I will put my take profit at the very end of this one here, the previous candle, for example, and then we're going to see what will be our choice. Yes, it's at 89, 389. So we are like 20 pips, more or less. Let's wait. Okay guys, as you can see, it was a nice movement there. I had to close my previous position, as I said to you, at this candle right here. It was about, I'm sorry, I closed like 15 pips. I took 50 pips there. But as you can see, we had a fractal there, and maybe we're going to have fractal right here. So I'm still thinking of continuing with the market right there. But we're going to see. You see, the best thing for you to do is to have the Tekkensen as a stop. It is very important to understand that the Tekkensen also is a very, very useful indicator if you want to take some pips and not to lose the profit you had. Okay guys, we're back. As you can see, I closed my position at a profit of 15 pips. I think I closed somewhere here because I understood that, as I told you before, I've seen this many times, I should have closed my position right there, because as you can see, when the market goes even one step higher from a previous higher, then for some reason it retraces right away. Maybe because there's some system telling you that you should enter right there, but you have to be very careful about that, because the market always retraces at that point. Now the market did a small movement. We have a fractal right here, so I'm thinking of going long again, following the market. I don't like the stochastic that shows down, but we'll see. I will wait, because I had a fractal here, fractal here. We have, if we take from a technical analysis point, we have higher low, so this is a resistance right now. Every movement we make, this will be our stop loss right there. We're going to talk in a little bit again. Okay guys, I'm right here with you again. I decided previously that at this U-turn here I should have taken my chances. I have put it not right here, my stop loss, but somewhere there, because I don't want to put a lot of stop losses right there. We opened our position at I think 15, somewhere 15, and now we're 20 pips again profit. The problem is that we're doing all-time high and the market comes back and goes up and comes back. My Fibonacci tool here told me from this point here that we're going out of the messed up thing and we're going to the freedom. As I told you before, no matter if there is a trend like this one here, the stochastic is not a very useful help, because it cannot follow the trends. It can stay overbought for 2 or 3 or 4 hours, or no matter what. On a technical analysis point, we have a higher low and a higher high, and this is another higher high, but as you can see, it will trace, and we have to be really, if we want to make small profits today, because it's really hard to predict where you should close. Maybe this position here was a nice position to close again, so we can take like 20-30 pips there. And another thing that I'm thinking about is the Tekkensen. Maybe I should close my position when the Tekkensen is crossed, but it will be too late there, because we've made some late decisions there. The stochastic shows up. You see, this was here on a 30-minute time frame. It was a great retracement and it took all the power it had, but I'm thinking that if the market needs this power right here, maybe it will go double up. You know what I mean? Maybe it rested there, so it can continue even higher. I think I will put my stop loss right at the end of this candle here. It will be a nice spot of take profit, because if it goes lower, at least we have a 5 or 10 pip profit right there. If it goes higher, I will move my take profit at the very bottom of the other candle. You just have to wait and see what the market is trying to do. I think we're going in a trend right now because I have my eyes on the standard deviation right here, which is moving up. I have my eyes on standard deviation right here. I have my eyes on the stochastic. Stochastic has some more room there, so maybe it will give us some profits right there, but I have to be really cautious, and I will follow every little step right here with a take profit, for example, there. Let me see. No, for some reason I cannot put it there. Let me take away this thing here. The problem here is that there is no major retracement, so the market isn't thinking about retracing at this point. It retraced there. The market isn't thinking about touching the sky, going higher and higher. If we take the Fibonacci tool, at this point here, it retraced 61.8. This here was 23.6. It's a small retracement, so it can't continue. So we have to wait about a major retracement to be sure of that. At this point now we are about 15, 30, about 35 pips profit. And of course now the big question is, do you take this profit or you just wait the market to go higher? There's no clear answer to that question, because all traders have that. From a technical analysis point of view, I'm seeing right here a channel. You see what I mean? This is a channel right there, and has shown no sign of weakness. If we go for our chart, you see there was a nice red candle, because every upward movement needs a red candle. There cannot be only green candle right there. This is interesting also. On a daily time frame, we see that it touches the sky again. It did an all-time high again. We had a red, not quite, it was a strange red closure right here. But again, if you're a day trader, I mean if you're trading long periods of time, you can see here that the Tekkensen is holding really well. So if the Tekkensen, if the price crosses over Tekkensen, then you probably should close your trades and take your profit. But this is the most difficult thing in trading at this point. Where should I close my trades? Especially when you have small trades like this one here, at which even a small retracement can take all the profit. If you're a small fish like me and not a shark, you know that this is essential and vital for you. Even these 20-30 pips are very important for your emotions, for everything. I will have my eyes, if I see a big red candle coming, maybe right here in the middle, maybe I will start thinking about closing my position. But this beast shows no sign of weakness. It's really amazing. This market, I'm not sure where it's fueled from. In the beginning, when I had no knowledge of all of this, of what I'm showing right now, even I was trying to short this beast, but with no success, until it was written in my mind that this thing can go only long at this time, at this point. So find a nice spot to enter long. This one here would be the best one, and I believe many of you may have seen this and took that shot. I took it somewhere here in the cloud breakout. I thought there could be a retracement until here, but the market didn't do that. So I closed before on a 50 pips profit, and I said, let's make another move right here. And as you can see, the market continued. This red candle shows me that we are somewhere high, and I'm really thinking about closing it, but I will wait a little bit, the next candle, and see what I can do. Okay guys, we're back. I decided to close my position at this point here at about 20-25 pips, I think 20 pips, 21, because I never like when I see two red candles together, but because every small retracement here can wipe out all our profit. But we are still with the market at this point. I mean, nothing has changed. I expect a retracement there, but I'm not sure how deep it will be. So I always decide to make a small profit instead of closing with no profit at all, or even worse, with losses. It's important for you to take out your ego and be very sincere with yourself and say, okay, that's the best thing I could do. I close the position and I'm waiting for another one. You see, even small profits are better of losses. This is a very important lesson. I was watching a video of Bill Williams about the fractals, and he was a really nice guy. I remember he saying that I couldn't work, I couldn't do anything out there. That's why I was trading, and that's why he did really well on the trading, because many people of that time weren't sure about what they're doing, because he was a believer. Whether or not you believe in fractals, if we see on the fractal analysis right here, let's have a look. There was a fractal right there, this one, the first one, and Bill would have entered right here. There was a second fractal, and this was a nice entry point for Bill. This was another fractal, another entry point. This was another fractal, another entry point. Yeah, so you see, of course, fractals are sometimes have a big lag, or can get you in trouble. For example, one could say, okay, I see this fractal in 30 minutes here. Should I go long there? I'm not sure. I would wait for another higher low right here before I enter again and following that market. As you can see, the price now has touched the Tekkensen, but it's struggling right there. It's struggling. If the price goes below Tekkensen, then I'm on hold. I will wait, because as you have seen here, when the price went above Tekkenson at this point right there, it took an uptrend. No matter whether it was below Kijunsun, it was below the cloud, step by step it did this movement right here. So what can the market do? The market can test this second span B right there, because as we said in a previous video, second span B and all these things are mainly support and resistance levels. So it may test this area right here, or it may even break that area right there. Now that we see 2 or 3 candles, red candles, we are justified to use our Fibonacci tool. Okay, I'm putting my Fibonacci right there, and now what I see that I have a small retracement at 23.6, but this is not enough. I believe a good retracement is between 38.50 and 61.8. This would be a nice retracement. But remember, for some reason I think this area here may be retested. It's not for sure. I'm just thinking about the retested right there. But if we have another fractal right there, I will for certain think about entering long again, because I did that previously here, and I will do that again there. The price is now below Tekkenson. As you can see, Tekkenson is formatted, is calculated by using the higher high and lower low of the 9 last periods, and then you divide that by 2. It's the quick indicator. For me, it's a first sign of trend change. Of course, sometimes it may go as you can see here, but the closer is best. Or here you will see that it changed, but you had to wait to see what it would do. Again, if you have a small retracement here, if our retracement is again, as I can see now, 23.6, this means the market wants to go even higher and will try to go higher and higher. My Fibo tool says at this point you should not touch your sell button, but there are many traders that will try at this point to take this retracement. But remember, it's really like this one here. One may have thought, okay, the retracement is starting right now, I will follow it until 50 or 61.8. But as you saw, the market has something else in his mind. And another interesting thing here is, as you can see, we had the stochastic here was higher, but it was a lower high than this one. Whether this is a higher high than this one here, maybe at this point we have a small trend change or a retracement. We're always talking about retracements. This is what makes the market difficult when you're a new trader, because you may think that the retracement is a trend change, and then you start following the market, you start putting your money on the short positions, and then it closes you and goes even higher. But remember, the stop loss is your friend, not your enemy. You have to use it sometimes, or the take profit. It doesn't matter if you had 500 pips profit. If you are at 50 pips and you see that the market is still going down, you should close your position at the 50 pips. and don't even think about the 450 pips that you lost, because it is profit. Bill Williams in a video said, okay guys, the first thing a trader should do, his first goal in trading is not to lose money. It's so simple. Try not to lose money when you enter in these markets, because this is the more important thing for you. And after a while, after you have seen that you've made some trades, that you are a disciplined person, as you understand, this thing needs a lot of discipline in order to succeed, or to have some small earnings at least. You have to follow some rules. Otherwise your account will blow up, as it does most of the times with many traders. And that's why the stockbrokers and the markets need new traders. They don't need experienced traders, because experienced traders doesn't trade all the time. They trade on a very, very few spots every day or every 2 days. I know traders that one guy that told me about all these things that I'm presenting you. I think he makes 1 or 2 trades per month, but still he wins. He has some earnings, and it's a very big earnings for him, because he chooses the best spots to enter the market, and take advantage of that. No one tells you that you should trade every day, that you should see this trading system like a job. It's not a job. It's a place where you should take some spots when you should take advantage of the movements, not the stability. When something is stable, you cannot even make money. You cannot even make a penny, and moreover, you may lose a lot of money there. So as you can see here, I believe we're going to have a retracement for sure. I'm even thinking of maybe opening a short position right there, but it's not the best thing to do. But if I do it, I will let you know, of course, and it will be for very, very few pips. And my stop loss will be my Tekken. It's so simple. Take that short position there and put Tekken as a stop loss. But we're going against the trend. And as I've told you many times, I don't like shorting when I'm on the upper part of the middle Bollinger Band. At least have that in mind, and wait for another long position until the market moves even lower. That's it for now, and we'll still following the market and see what we're going to do next. Hi guys, I'm back. As you can see, I took my shot right there. I wanted to trade a retracement. I think I shorted at 410. I really don't like playing retracement. I really don't like trading retracement, because as I have told you many times, they can put you in really bad troubles. But you can do it as long as you put a stop loss. As you see, my stop loss was just above Tekken. Do you see this one? I took my position somewhere here, And I said if the price goes above Tekken, okay, I will accept that loss. But it seems that the market wants to retrace. I believe the first retracement, because every movement has its retracement. So maybe we can have a retracement close to Tekken or Kijun at the 30-minute time frame. I'm thinking about now we have touched the 38.2 retracement of this movement right here. I think about closing my trades about at 50 or 61.8 if this resistance, because I now see the 38.2 as a resistance, if this breaks, I'm going for 50%. If this breaks, I'm going for 61.8. But I will be really careful here because the uptrend is still on, and as I told you, we're just dealing with retracement here, so I'm going to find a nice position, I think, in the middle of this red here to put my small take profit right there, because I think now we are about 15 pips right now. Here. As you can see, 410. We are about at 15 pips. I feel a little confident being on the lower part of the Bollinger Band when I'm shorting, because there's no meaning here. Somebody could have taken the trade from here, but it could have been a really small retracement at 23.6 as it did before, and then go even higher. From a technical analysis point of view, you will see that we had a lower high right here. That was a nice thing to see. That was a point when I understood that we are going to retrace a little bit. Another interesting part is that we have broken this fractal right here, which was a support but broke really easily. So you see the 5-minute chart is mainly for entrance and exit points. You should find entry and exit points because you don't want to, when you're dealing with big money, the problem is that there is a retracement there and maybe it wipes out your profit and even starts showing some losses. So the problem there is that the psychology cannot handle any losses, and sometimes when you cannot handle the losses you hold your position, but you're doing it wrong because everything shows that the market has changed direction, but you wish the market goes at the point that you started having your position. That's a very wrong thing to trade with. You have to be really careful right here. Like right here, you see we are going really close to Tekken. We're going really close to my position right there, so I may have to close it. If I see another candle going green, I may have to close it because I really don't like It's better for me to close even, to break even, or close with just 1 pip profit instead of closing with some losses. It's something that you should be aware of and be really careful. I did that previously, when I started trading, I had the same problem. I would see my trade going really well. At some point, the market changed the direction, and maybe it was instantly. And I would keep my position, whether it was long or short. I would keep it for no reason. I knew deep inside that, wait a little bit, I knew deep inside that the market had changed direction, but for some reason, and I think many traders, and this happens in many trades, they freeze there. For some reason they cannot close the trade. They cannot close it when they have a very little profit. When they had a lot of profit, for example, if somebody had 100 pips profit and the market changed direction and went to 10 pips, they keep the position. Even though the market has changed direction, they don't close the position. And this is a very, very great mistake many new traders do, because they don't have a stop loss. Every time you start a trade, think about it. Think where you are on the chart, whether you're up or down or whatever you like. And then try to put a stop loss. It is something that, as you can see here, the Tekken is validated. So I believe I'm going to close even this movement. The stochastic also shows that we may have a, so as you can see, we had a 38.2 retracement right here. Okay, I think I'm going to close it right here. Okay. Okay. I need to close it at 11. I'm pretty sure we're going to see 11 in a little bit. As you can see, our retracement, this was a really strong support here at 38.2 and didn't left the price go below that. Okay, we have 8. Here's a nice place to close our position. I will close it with 3 pips. Yes, that's a small profit, a 3 pip profit, but as you understand, it's better from losing. I'm still thinking about shorting this thing, but I have to see a little bit. If it goes below Tekken again, I will definitely try to have a small position, because I really think this thing, we have a lower low here, a lower high, so we're still in a short trend right here, but a very short trend rather. Let's wait a little bit and we're going to see what happens. Hi guys, I decided here for some reason to enter. I needed to be sure, as I told you before. I believe that we're gonna have a retracement at least until the Kijisen right here, and we did. I am now at let's see, I open my position right there. At 402, and now we are at 60, at 55. That's almost 40 pips today, because what I was waiting for my zigzag here to show me have a lower high, so I had a lower high from this one here, and then I decided to take the chance, but the candle came really fast there, and I believe somewhere here we should close our position. Because my Chiku span, my second span A is broken, but second span B is holding really tight right here. As you can see, my second span B is a great resistance. You can see when you see these horizontal lines right there, you know that they are big resistance, and if they break, you know that the price action may go even lower. Another important thing is, I told you today when we are that we have to, this place here, this spot here has to be tested again before the market can proceed even higher. To tell the truth, I didn't expect this violent movement right here, because I waited a retracement, but as we can see here, we had retraced right there at 38.2. The market did double bottom right here. It was showing that, okay guys, I'm going up now, but this fractal here made me think that we may have a retracement even lower, and that retracement came here. Okay, but I believe we should have closed our position somewhere here. We're gonna have our chance again to close that. We are 402. We're about 30-35 pips at this moment profit. Maybe we also test this one here, the area of 61.8 as a retracement. We have to stay alert at this point, and after this candle I may put my take profit right above the upper part of the last candle. My taking zone is away now. Let's see the price action, and we'll decide in a little bit.